What's the most absurd way someone cheated on a test and didn't get caught? During my final semester of college, I was taking Organic Chemistry 2, a class with a 40% failure rate. The professor, Dr. Harrington, was notorious for his brutal exams and zero-tolerance cheating policy. He'd failed entire classes before when he suspected collaboration. I was struggling to maintain my scholarship GPA when I met Tyler in study group. Brilliant guy, but completely unconventional. While I was drowning in flashcards, Tyler barely took notes. "Don't worry about the exam," he told me one night at the library. "I've got a system." I assumed he meant a good study method. I was wrong. The morning of our midterm, Dr. Harrington made his usual announcement. "All electronic devices in your bags at the front. Nothing but pencils and calculators at your desks." I watched Tyler walk in wearing a plain white t-shirt and jeans. Nothing suspicious. He sat 2 rows ahead of me, looking strangely confident. Dr. Harrington distributed the exams. 50 multiple-choice questions on reaction mechanisms that would determine 35% of our final grade. My stomach knotted as I flipped to the first page. 20 minutes in, I noticed something odd. Tyler kept touching his left arm, almost like he was checking his pulse. At first, I thought maybe he was having anxiety, but then I realized his movements were too deliberate. I squinted, trying to see what he was doing without drawing attention to myself. That's when I caught a glimpse of something I couldn't believe. Tyler had a temporary tattoo on his inner forearm. Not just any tattoo. It was a periodic table of elements with tiny, nearly microscopic reaction mechanisms drawn around the edges. The genius of it struck me. It wasn't technically an electronic device. It wasn't notes on paper. It was literally on his skin, disguised as body art that he could casually glance at while pretending to check his watch or scratch his arm. Dr. Harrington paced the room like a hawk, but never once suspected that the answers were literally right under his nose. Tyler's cheat sheet was hiding in plain sight. I watched in disbelief as Tyler breezed through the exam, occasionally stretching to reveal different parts of his arm tattoo. He finished 30 minutes early, turned in his paper, and walked out with a subtle wink in my direction. After the exam, I confronted him in the hallway. "Did you seriously just take that test with all the answers tattooed on your arm?" Tyler grinned. "Temporary ink. Designed it myself last night. Printed it on tattoo transfer paper. It'll wash off tonight." "That's cheating," I whispered, equal parts horrified and impressed. "I call it creative studying," he replied. "I had to memorize everything anyway to design the tattoo. This was just insurance." 2 weeks later, Dr. Harrington returned our exams. Tyler got a 98%. I got a 76%. What bothered me wasn't that Tyler cheated. It was that his method was so absurdly ingenious that part of me couldn't help but admire it. He'd found a loophole in a system designed to be airtight. Tyler graduated with honors and got accepted to a prestigious graduate program. Sometimes I wonder if his creative studying followed him there. I've never told anyone this story until now. I still feel conflicted about it. Was it wrong? Absolutely. Was it the most absurdly brilliant cheating method I've ever witnessed? Without question. Years later, I became a high school chemistry teacher myself. On the first day of every semester, I make my students wear short sleeves during exams. When they ask why, I just smile and say, "Let's just call it a lesson I learned in college."